brings you the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the reigning NFC champs and the Giants, and it's coming up next.
We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Ahead will decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game, as we've got a great one in store between the San Francisco 49ers and the New York Giants. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
The fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round. We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
And if he and his guys want to spring the upset here in the second round and move on, they've got to focus on the good that they did in the wild card victory. At the top of that list, protecting the football. Got a little careless last week. A few got away from it. Might not be so fortunate this time around. And if that's the case, they'll end up going home.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Lance. And he whips that one incomplete there. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And it's 3rd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The former number 6 overall pick of 2019, Daniel Jones, trots out to lead this New York Giants offense.
And he and his team, they were the beneficiaries of a first-round bye earned by a tremendous regular season. He'd been a little bit nicked up, so he could use the rest. And I'm sure his teammates felt the exact same way. But now it'll be interesting to watch their first few drives in this one. Because sometimes getting the rest is great, but sometimes you accumulate a little bit of rust as well. Maybe they come out flat, and they can't afford that in the postseason.
And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40, before being taken down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, They also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground. Brandon, you know, this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit.
Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Looking to throw again on second down. Lance. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw here complete into the hands of Ertz. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On second down now, it's Mitchell. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Here's Lance to throw it. And this is Ertz with it, right side. Touchdown 49ers. Zach Ertz from 19 yards away. And the Niners are on the board first here in this division round matchup.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Point after here coming up. Now, these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through. 5 plays there on that drive, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, Not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the first down.
And we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's who you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. A first down carry for Barkley. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing, Jones. And that is incomplete here.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now Jones. He'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Off play action. Jones. He's going to air one out. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
The whole idea of the screen pass is to fool the defense in a big way and create a big play.
They weren't fooled.
Not 1 second, not one bit. How about them figuring it out, diagnosing it, and spilling it for lost yardage?
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. Back deep is T.Y. Hilton. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Lance. They'll roll him out right. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And a little spin cycle, room to run now. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown. And we'll see if that pick six looms large as his game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally. And you often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome. But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. And then things really go from there, don't they?
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change. So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. Throwing after the interception. Lance. That ball complete to Isabella. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. A big play there on the catch and run. Well, we know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch it short, he can take it long, or he can do what we just saw right there, catch it and then run with the football.
Yeah, and this is what we mean when we talk about flipping the field, having your offense look at going a long way to a short way after he makes a play. His ability to do that, evident. Able to make the catch there, keep his momentum going, and just continue downfield.
And the next-gen stats show us the tale of how much yardage he was able to tack on after the catch. These two teams all tied after one. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. Mitchell. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Caught left side by Hilton. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Lance looking to throw it. Touchdown! Deebo Samuel from 6 yards away. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Now Joey Sly for the point after. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that drive, 4 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Possession switching back to the New York Giants. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first two drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. It's complete to Williams. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And now a hook up downfield on second down. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. It's a big-time play there for the G-Men. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, and this is absolutely a defensive coordinator's worst nightmare as well because they spend all week preaching about the need to wrap up and make sure tackles. But what a letdown here, and it winds up costing them big yardage.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
On second down, here's Barkley. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And Ingram's got it. Touchdown, Giants. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Coup now for the point after. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 3. But he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
On first down, it's Mitchell. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. They fake the handoff. Now Lance checks this one down. It's Mitchell. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
On play action, Lance escaping the pressure right. That's into the hands of Dwelling. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Play action, now it's Lance. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. Does the big boy have the juice? The 40, 30. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. And how about the big boy showing off the wheels?
Let's face it, anybody who watches a game, even if it goes against your team, when there's a big man with the football, everyone locks in. Everyone locks in, and the rumbling, you can feel it all the way to the upper reaches of the stands.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something, because right now they're just cutting them to shreds. And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Looking to throw. Jones. That's to Galladay, and he's got it. Touchdown, New York. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants on just 2 plays have taken the lead. An out route there for the score. A quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands. Knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
Coup for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. touchdown. Here's Koo to kick off. From the 6. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. San Francisco's offense returns to the field, and they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. A big play there just before halftime. Well, and this is where quarterbacks' passing numbers sometimes get a little bit more inflated than they should, because this is a short little pass, but it goes for big yardage.
Yeah, and we see this so often. There's excellent coverage downfield, so the quarterback makes a nice decision, just flip it out to the flat and see what the running back can do. Plenty of space to roam, and he turns it into a big play.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the catch on the next-gen stats. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Sliding out of the pocket. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That's on the guard, Laken Tomlinson. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. To throw, it's Lance. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come back and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete to Isabella. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards, the pickup there. 2nd and 3 from the 9. Off of play action, here's Lance. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown, 49ers. Brandon Ayuk in the final seconds of the first half. And the 49ers have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you get a brand new ball game. Sly on for the extra point. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, where it was the Packers who get the win at home. Jordan Love, excellent in the W, as his guys get victory number 12 on the year. We continue on with a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Niners, and it's been the passing game that's been the story. They have feasted on this secondary to the tune of 200-plus yards already through 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Giants, we get a look at their numbers on the ground in that first half, as they'll be looking to rev things up here in a tie ball game. Both these teams, no doubt, making their final adjustments as we speak. Which of these 2 teams is going to advance to the NFC title game next Sunday? To find out, let's get you back to Brandon God.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Giants about set to go to begin this third quarter. And, CD, we are in for a very intriguing second half. This is what we wanted, all tied. This is what postseason football is all about.
It certainly is, and doesn't it speak to the parity in the NFL? Roughly half the teams that made the playoffs the year before miss the next year, get replaced. We know it's an any given Sunday mentality. Nothing's easy in the playoffs, but when you have your shot, they're eager to seize it.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Solomon Thomas, his second sack of the night.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that's going to make it fourth down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on third down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Taking on the midfield logo. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. First and 10. Flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Dexter Lawrence. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
And that is incomplete. Nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Lance. He's got it to Hilton. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance. And he fires one incomplete. Jennings was the one he was looking for, but it'll be second down.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Throwing his Lance on third down. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Logan Ryan. And the Giants are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. Now Jones on first down. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On second down, Barkley. And they're able to bring him down at the 20.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now Saquon Barkley fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. On third down, Barkley. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. He lost 2, and it brings up 4.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And the Giants send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah. Will they make up for it? Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line.
Well, they've certainly spread the ball around so far, but they're definitely getting everyone involved now when you're throwing it to the fullback. Just shows how versatile this offense is and how everyone is a threat.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2nd and 9. Now Lance on the bootleg. Flush to his right. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Complete to Hilton. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. The 49ers are going to turn over to the special teams crew. The field goal unit is out there now. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. And this one is no good. He missed it. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. What a tough spot to miss a kick. Just an absolute letdown.
Look, they got themselves in the field goal range, gave them a chance to take the lead. They come up empty, and now you wonder, will their offense ever see the football again?
Yeah, because on the other side, one through the post, and this thing could be over. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And as a fan of the NFL, not much more you could hope for in this divisional round matchup. Tie game, 4th quarter. A lot of these fans with their hearts in their throats waiting to see what happens here. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Key 26, key 26.
Off the play fake. Jones. That's complete left side to Shepard. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They'll run on 1st down. Barkley, and he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
But they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On the run, it's Barkley. He's to the 10. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, a 21-yard touchdown run. And the Giants have broken our tie as they take the lead.
Apparently the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rush in the regular season. Got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him. And he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main guy.
Now Youngway coup for the extra point. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And this could be the defining moment of their season, all hyperbole aside. You're trailing here in the 4th quarter, the divisional round. They need to come up with something as they get this drive started. A nice start to the drive, picking up 12 yards there and a very quick first down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Hey, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs. Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd and 11 now. Lance. And the catch made by Hilton. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 36. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Lance's throw here pulled in by Hilton. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
That's complete to Dwelly, his tight end. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
From the 6 now on 2nd and 3. They'll try the left side. Mitchell, and he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and goal with this game still hanging in the balance. And they get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Trey Lance keeping it himself from a yard out. And the 49ers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. Fielded right around the 8. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And these numbers showing up on the screen, that's why he's their star. They kept him down for a little bit, couldn't keep him down for a full 4 quarters.
But what they were hoping for was a half of a game. And if they could have shut it down at the half, they had done their job. But as you mentioned, a full 4 quarters, and the best, they always feel like they're one run away from changing the momentum or breaking something big. And we're starting to see that here in the second half.
Jones. And his throw's going to be incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Jones' throw on target to Shepard. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On first down, Barkley. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Second down, here's Barkley again. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. They'd love to get a little closer if they need to kick the field goal on 4th down. From this spot, it's 46 yards. On 3rd down, Barkley might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Now, after that last running play, we've got an offensive lineman down on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
So Lance and the Niners down 31-28. A little under 50 seconds to go. A field goal could get this playoff game to overtime, but this crowd, they are going to make it tough as they line up 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Movement there on the offensive line, a little quick, and a 5-yard penalty. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. He'll look to throw. Able to find Ertz. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A big play that time on the catch and run.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. This one caught by Isabella. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 40. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Back to throw. He'll dump that one off to Mitchell. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Certainly would have liked to get some yardage out of that play, but now you got to put this in the hands of your field goal kicker. See if he can get you to overtime. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. With 2 seconds left in regulation, this to force overtime. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. Overtime in a playoff game, awesome setup. Remember, the rules the same as they would be in the regular season.
That's exactly right, Brandon. Remember, the receiving team, if they score a touchdown, game is over. But if they kick a field goal or don't score, the other team gets a chance to get the football. They get a possession. If they go down and score, they win the football game at that point. If both teams kick field goals, we keep playing. If a defense scores, let's say the receiving team gets the ball, doesn't score, or they throw a pick six or fumble, gets picked up, the defense scores, game over. But here's the best part. In the regular season, only 1 period is played. We could call it a tie. Here, we're going to play until we have a winner.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Possession of the football going back over to the Giants. The situation is simple. It is sudden death from here on out. We had 2 stops defensively. The next score, whatever it is, wins this game.
And I can't wait to see how the defense decides to play this, because knowing that the next point you give up, lose the game for you, I expect them to be more aggressive, not just play a normal situational defense, but go after them, attack them a little bit, because otherwise the offense is just trying to find their way to get downfield and kick a field goal. Don't sit back and wait for them to make their plays. I think the defense needs to go after them.
Charles Davis says maybe they go aggressive. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now a first throw here in overtime. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay, because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Throwing Jones. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Nick Bosa coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Shut him down! Shut him down! Let's do this!
And the Giants send out their punter now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. Taken in at the 22. So holding there on the return, and that'll back them up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
They'll try the left side. It's Mitchell. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Now a play fake. Lance. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. Shotgun now for Lance. And the throw there going to be incomplete. I know there may be temptation to go for it here in overtime, but you have to punt the football.
I like how emphatic you are about it, because I know the tendency is, as a player, let's go get this thing. You're actually telling your coach, come on, coach, we can get it. We have that play call. And the head coach has to remember, that play call likely isn't there. Punt the ball away. Punt it away. Be smart.
Trust your defense.
Trust them.
New York's offense back out there and set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. To Shepard, complete over the middle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They'll run it again with Barkley. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Here's a give to Barkley. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Younghoe Koo, all eyes fixated on the kicker. This would put them in the NFC title game. Younghoe Koo, all eyes fixated on the kicker. This would put them in the NFC title game. And he got it. The kick is good. He splits the uprights. And in doing so, he sends them to the NFC title game. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But the NFL defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And looking at it from the perspective of the losing side here in this divisional round, it all ends so abruptly, doesn't it? A few hours ago, you got all this hope and anticipation of maybe a deep run, and now you're out of it.
Well, let's applaud the team that won, and rightly so. They're moving on. They still have a chance to get to the big game. But let's not bury the team that lost. I think I do a lousy job of illuminating what a great year they had. Let's face it, when it's all said and done, they were one of 8 teams left with a chance to get to and win the Super Bowl. That's a pretty darn good season.